second here. Now, first, I don't think that border security and a pathway to citizenship are mutually exclusive. Those two things can happen simultaneously at the same time, and that is the compromise. That is the place of compromise for Democrats and Republicans, Larry. They can happen at the same time. We can build a fence, we can build a wall, we can build an electric fence if that's what they want, but at the same time, we need to provide a pathway to citizenship for those 11 million that are in the shadows. The Republican Party's problem is they cannot get a pathway through citizenship out of the United States House of Representatives, whether they like it or not, whether we beefed up the border or not, whether we put Marine Team 6 on the border, they would still not be able to pass a pathway to citizenship.
That's simply not true. If you secured the border, people would pass the pathway to citizenship.
Count the votes.
I promise you, I know the Republican Party pretty well, and if you were to secure the border, then you would be able to pass a pathway to citizenship. You would.
Why can't those happen? Why are those two things mutually exclusive?
Why are they connected?
Because if we're dealing with immigration as a total issue. They're not separate issues.
Of course they're separate issues, because the fact is that if you do
not.
Okay,
it's
fine.
It's all about maintaining our border and having immigration control.
So you're right. Let's assume you're right, and we'll completely connect them. Okay, but the way we'll connect them is we won't have any border security. Amnesty for everybody. Is there a problem or no?
That's not what. But see, but this is exactly where they go to, Larry. Every time we have these discussions,
this is where we go to. Why don't you explain why they have to be connected?
And that is not. Well, wait a second. That is not what's in the Senate bill. In the Senate bill, which is the Democratic solution, which has been endorsed by the president and all the Democrats in the United States Senate, that bill strengthens our border. It increases border security, and at the same time provides a very, very, very long pathway to citizenship that takes almost 10 years. It is completely and totally bipartisan. Yet still, Republicans in the House won't even bring the bill to the floor for a vote.
Richard,
that tells you right there, Larry, that they don't agree with the pathway to citizenship.
Why can't they vote?
Honestly, I have one question in all of this. Seriously, just one question. Why not just secure the border and then put a pathway to citizenship in?
Why can't those happen at the same time?
Why don't you answer my question instead of asking me back why? I just explained to you why they can't. Here's why they can't happen at the same time. As you secure the border remains somewhat open. People cross the border because they feel that if they get in before the deadline, if they get in before the border is secure, then they are somehow included in the pathway to citizenship. Of course I've read the bill. And not only have I read the bill, I've been watching what's happening on the border with tens of thousands of children crossing the border in anticipation of amnesty.
Wait, because we have
what do you think is happening?
There's no law right now. But in the Senate
there's no
bill,
law right
we
now.
talk about
You're right. There's no law against crossing the border illegally.
In the Senate bill, we talk about who qualifies for a pathway to citizenship, and those deadlines do not apply to those individuals that cross the border.
And how are you going to magically determine that, Richard? Do they have a magical
It's in the bill.
Right, they have
read the bill.
I've read the bill, Richard. Can you explain to me
when you haven't read it correctly?
when you determine who has crossed the border when? I was unaware that everybody who crosses the border has a barcode saying when they came across. This is the part where SNL turned into literally just a fundraiser for Democrats. It's really, really awful. Remember, this is on Saturday Night Live, a show that used to be funny at some point, and now we've got a bunch of women who can't sing. First of all, if you can't sing, don't sing. Okay, I'm a good violinist, and I don't make my violin playing the centerpiece of what I do because I'm not at the level of Hillary Hahn, right? These women cannot sing at all, and yet SNL features them every week singing. I guess that the Me Too movement means that they also get to sing badly. But they get to sing more often because I guess that they're social justice warrioring. Jessica Chastain, by the way, is unbelievably wealthy, right? Jessica Chastain made at least a couple of $1 million for The Martian, and people were complaining, oh, Matt Damon made $18 million for The Martian, and Jessica Chastain only made a couple of $1 million for The Martian. Right, she's in it for like 10 minutes. Was Jessica Chastain even in The Martian? Like, I don't even remember her being in it, right? The entire movie is Matt Damon on Mars. That's the entire film. Of course he made more money. Also, Matt Damon happens to be something called a box office draw. Right? Nobody goes to see a Jessica Chastain movie. No one. I like Jessica Chastain as an actress. I think she's good. But the idea that people went to see Zero Dark 30 because they were desperate to see Jessica Chastain in a film, what has Molly's Game earned? I want to look at the earnings for Molly's Game. Okay, Molly's Game is now out. So let's look at the box office. Let's see if we can get some box office stats for that massive hit. Right? It has now earned $28.1 million. Miss Sloane, right, which she also starred in last year, earned a whopping $9.1 million at the box office. Okay, the last time I'm going to look up Jessica Chastain's IMDb because whenever people complain about the wage gap in Hollywood, it makes no sense whatsoever. All of her films that have been successful were successful because everyone else, right, because everyone else in the film is a box office draw. Now, let's just be totally frank about this. Here are the films that she starred in where she was the leading lady. Okay, Woman Walks Ahead. Never even heard of it. Zookeeper's Wife. Earned nothing. Miss Sloane. Total box office bomb. Crimson Peak. The Martian, Matt Damon star, made lots of money. A Most Violent Year, very small film, and it's her and Oscar Isaac. She's very good in it, but again, very small film. Interstellar, she is not the star of it. Matthew McConaughey is the star of it, and it's a Christopher Nolan film, so it made lots of money. The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, made no money. Salome, Mama, she's Mama in Annabelle. Okay, but that is not actually, or no, she's Annabelle in the movie Mama, which I've never even heard of. Zero Dark 30, like these are not big box office draws. None of them. Zero of these things are big box office draws, but we're supposed to worry about her wage gap with Matt Damon. Okay, like now I'm gonna read you Matt Damon's IMDb, okay? Okay, Matt Damon's IMDb. Here are the films that Matt Damon has starred in over the last few years. Okay, he was the producer on Jason Bourne, which made $1 bajillion. Okay, he was also, let's see, what did he act in? So he was in Thor Ragnarok, where he was uncredited. He was in The Great Wall, which made $1 bajillion in China. Jason Bourne made $1 bajillion. The Martian, $1 bajillion. Interstellar, $1 bajillion. Elysium, which was a big budget, but it busted. You know, the guy's actually a box office draw, and then people are like, oh, well, why is she earning less than Matt Damon? Okay, what women are marching for? If you're marching for we want to be treated equally, then I'm going to treat you equally. You suck at singing, don't sing ever again on national TV. Okay? Let's just start with that. And also, if you're going to stand for equality, I'd like half of Jessica Chastain's paycheck for every movie that she makes. Because, my goodness, all these women on SNL, I mean, for the quality, and by the way, everyone on SNL should donate their salary to charity given the fact they suck so much lately. Just awful.